guys, how we all diddly doing? How's everybody holding up? Today, I bring to you my build for my LP, my werewolf LP, because I'd done an entire LP of it and I really enjoyed it, even though I'd done the entire LP before I downloaded the fix for the werewolf. So my werewolf LP is so unhinged and I love that. I'm not surprised that I'm the one with the unhinged werewolf LP. I think it's quite on brand, honestly. It's quite on brand. But I'm glad that all of you get to experience werewolves that are fixed. There is an actual fix now. Do not worry. Do not fret. The werewolves are fixed. Thank you, Jesus. So yeah, I built this like werewolf lair. James Turner, formerly known as Sim Supply, did build all of the other lots in the world and he'd done a really, really good job at it. The lots are excellent. There's so much creativity there. But I loved the objects so much and I loved the vibe of the entire land that I didn't just want to move into a starter home. I wanted to kind of build my own vampire lair, because if there's one thing about me, I love a spooky place. I absolutely love it. I can't get enough of it. And this entire pack just tickles that scratch, itches that scratch so much. I was a big fan of the vampires pack. I rate spooky stuff as one of my favourite stuff packs for me personally, even though I know she's not a fan favourite. So werewolves is like the perfect, it's like a beautiful conglomeration of everything that's spooky. I'm a big fan of it. I also really like I didn't include it in this build because this build is off the grid, but there's a salt lamp in the shape of a moon. And I love that because that's actually a salt lamp that I've been looking for so long, and the only place I've been able to find it on is Urban Outfitters, and it's very expensive. Urban Outfitters is notoriously expensive. So yeah, but I saw it in game and I was like, oh, my Sims are living their best life. Let me just live vicariously. Don't mind me, just sneaking on in there. So the vibe that I wanted to go for with this is like, I don't know how it is in America, but in England, you can be walking across a field and you'll just see like a disused stone building that like belonged to a farm before or something. And I wanted to utilize that. So the bottom part of it is that kind of building that's being disused. And then Remus, who's my Sim, Remus Loop isn't, has kind of just come along and shot a crate. Oh my God, what they're called? The industrial crates. He's not what I'm on about anyway. On top of it and kind of merged the two together. So he's got a 2-story house. So it's kind of the old bringing in the new. So the new one has a modern window, but obviously he's a werewolf who doesn't have a job, who lives in the middle of nowhere. So the style of the build is not sleek and modern at all. Like there's cracks everywhere. I utilize the hell out of Get to Work, because Get to Work has these really questionable like stains on the floor as a carpet that you can use, and I use them so much. And kind of I did use a lot of bb.move objects to just kind of compile them together, and there's a lot of wall scratches and wall stains too, and it looked really fucking dirty after a while, and I was like, this is beautiful. Also, I've said a lot about it in my review, but I loved the vibe of the objects, because the vibe of the objects are very much like just put together. Like you can tell that they've just utilized what they have around them, and it's so perfect, and something that I think that we've definitely been missing from the game so far, that I had so much fun building with it. Like this build, usually I get bored of a build like halfway through. I don't have the best attention span, and if something doesn't keep my interest, it's really hard for me to stay focused on it. But this one, when I got towards the end of the build, and I was like, I kind of don't want this to end because I had so much fun with it. And also, again, once I mentioned this in my review as well, but I had fun with just the objects that came with it, but also when I delved into bb.show live edit objects and bb.show hidden objects, there was so much cool stuff in it, and it's just, I really want them to change that so it's within the main part of the building, like within the build by category. But yeah, it was a blast. It was an absolute blast. And the theme of the Let's Play, I think by the time we're watching this, I think the first 3 or 4 episodes will be out mainly. It's just kind of me delving into the werewolf game pack, like my first impressions of it and everything, kind of going along that journey with me. There's no like theme towards it, there's no story behind it kind of thing. I just kind of have a blast with it. I follow the story of that the pack presents to me. I was going to do a rags to riches challenge, but I thought it might be too much because that's a long game. But in the future, I think that this would be the perfect type of world to do rags to riches challenging, because there is a lot of stuff around the world that you can utilize for doing challenges like that. So yeah, I'm so excited to see what everybody else has created for it as well. I haven't been this excited for a pack in a long time, and even though I'm not 100% sold on the werewolves, they look a bit too human. I do like some aspects of them, but the human feet aren't it for me. I'm not a big fan of human feet anyway at the best of times, so putting them on a werewolf is so sorry. No offense to the designer, It's just personal preference in it, because I know some people are really happy with them. I am. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. But yeah, the build, buy, and create sim apart from that is so much fucking fun. I made this build all off the grid as well, because apparently I like to give myself an extra challenge. So everything works off the grid, because I didn't want Remus to have to spend any money. But also, the fucking tax that came through while I was playing the LP, I got charged for tax. There's two things, right, that be it dying and tax. Death and taxes, the two things that are constant in this life. So yeah, I didn't even know the government were aware we existed in The Sims 4. So the fact that the tax in me is... my sim was an anti-capitalist wolf. We wanted to go off the radar, right? We did not want to participate in capitalist economy, and yet we were forced to do it by the skin of our teeth. One thing that this pack is missing, though, is a double bed. I might have just missed this because this is my first go-through round with the pack, but I could only see new single beds because it does include them. But yeah, I don't think that included a double bed. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I just used one from... oh my god, what pack was it? Was it Outdoor Retreat, where it's got like the wooden canopy? But yeah, that's the build. I had so much fun building it. It was sweaty though. I watched Love Island as I was building this, but I've said this like 50 times, but I really did have a good time building this. It kind of feels like autumn, Halloween, that kind of vibe, that aesthetic, which is my favourite aesthetic. I'm a slag for that aesthetic. I'm literally looking at my desktop background now, which is like a pixel game that's coming out soon. I think it's like Witch Academia or something, and it's a still from that game, and it's like an autumnal theme. So excited. Also, as you're watching this, I will be in Flamingo Land, riding on rides, wild animals, wilder rides. Very excited about it. Every single year, me and my family stay in a caravan for a week, and every year we have a huge argument because me and my family are all introverts, so we all we all do really value our own space and our own time, and shoving us into a place where we literally can't escape from each other always causes arguments. But it's kind of arguments where it's just petty, and it's like there's no actual bad blood there. I'm just so irritated by being in other people's presence. Oh god, they're always so funny. They never last long. They're the kind of arguments where like in the middle of it you kind of like, let's be friends. So I'm really excited for that. I am such an adrenaline junkie. I cannot wait to go on the rides. Oh god, I love rides. I had really crooked teeth when I was growing up. They were naturally crooked anyway. Like this one was in front genetically. My brothers and my dads are like that. But I was on a ride one time and like it smacked me forward and my head hit, like my teeth hit the metal pole. Oh god, I remember how much it hurt to this day, and it chipped as well, and my teeth like went forward even more. So that never scared me off them though. I still fucking love rides, but I had it was like a 3mm overbite just on one single tooth. It used to hurt me as well. I know this is really off topic, but it used to hurt because the little gum bit in the middle of it used to be so stretched that it was genuinely painful for me. I got bullied a lot for those teeth as well, and they were just fucking teeth. I never understand when people bully other people over stuff like that. Oh, anyway, God, unleashing trauma. I would love to get back to building on stream as well. I am still doing my save file. I haven't done a video on it in a while, but I have been building it up. I don't know why I haven't done a video on it. I just don't think there's been the opportunity because I knew that werewolves were coming, so I was kind of prepping for that. But yeah, I am still working on it. I think I've just got like 3 of the commercial builds to be done in Willow Creek, and then that one will be released. And instead of releasing it like right at the end, I think I'm going to release it in stages. So once Willow Creek's done, then I'll release Willow Creek, and then obviously when Oasis Springs is done, then I'll release that. And I really want to get back to streaming with it, but I'm kind of trying to find a way to make streaming work for my autism, because obviously streaming's different for everybody else, but I feel like it impacts my autism specifically because I find that socially I struggle. So like after like 45 minutes, that's kind of my end point, which I could just do that. That might be like the solution, just 45-minute long streams. But my friend Hazine posted about her going back to streaming, and they were saying like they're just going to go back to streaming being unapologetically ADHD. So like if they're not feeling a game, then they'll switch it. If they want to stream for 3 hours and talk about shit, then they'll do that. And if they just want a short stream, then they'll do that. And I think that's what I might end up doing, which I know is not the best for everybody else, because I know that like having a schedule where you know what time I'm going to be streaming and everything would be better. But I just don't think that works for me, because as much as I like doing the same thing day in, day out, I think the pressure of like I have to be on at this time is a bit too much for me. I think like sporadically would be better, because then I can just stream when I feel good instead of forcing myself to, you know, not be autistic when I'm autistic and like mask and stuff like that. Because that's something that I've really found over the past couple of years, is that I've kind of took off the mask that I didn't even know I was wearing. And it has been liberating as well. But it also means that some of the stuff that I used to be able to do before, I just can't do now, and also don't want to do now. Like, I don't just want to fake being able to handle something and then have it like impact me negatively. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, but I'm excited about it. Like, I'm excited to kind of find a way to make life work for me. I'm excited for life at the minute, which is an exciting prospect. And let me be a lesson to you, because you've all been there with me through some dark phases where it just felt non-stop. But yeah, it does get better, and it's also the long haul. So if it does get better and it gets worse, don't worry, babe, because it will get better again. Deep. I'm so deep, babe. Oh, I'm almost as deep as the lore in this pack, because the lore is very much deep. And also the build buy objects, going back to the build again, which is the premise of this video, the build buy objects are steeped in lore. Like, you will have a great time reading them. It's also a little bit sad as well, but also very, very, very fun. Poor Greg, his life is just fully online. You brought my diary to school. I had to. I was doing a presentation on it. It's great. I love the lore of this pack. I hope that they continue to do it in future. I love it when things are hidden, like in the build buy descriptions as well. Because Princess Cordelia, she has an entire history of in the objects of in her objects. She's the reason we have Tory furniture. But yeah, that is this entire video. Thank you all so much for joining. I will include screenshots after this as well. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, beach.